Good evening to everyone. Welcome in to learn Italian language with Coin 1988. Today we will do the adverbs. It is a not very easy lesson. It is similar to the adjective. So now we will start. Mogami is yet with me and we greet everyone by me and Mogami.
Ciao a tutti.
The lesson is gli avverbi, the adverbs. The adverbs are invariable part of the speech that are used for modify a meaning of another word. Often this word is a verb.
Okay.
For example, we have the phrase questi spaghetti sono molto buoni. Molto is an adverb because this word modify buoni. Buoni in this case is an adjective. Molto modify buoni. In this case, molto mean very. The
Oh,
translation is these spaghettis are very good.
okay.
We have in Italy 7 types of adverbs. We have avverbio di modo, manner, avverbio di tempo, time, avverbio di luogo, place, avverbio di quantità, quantity, like in the adjective we have here two interrogativi and exclamativi, interrogative and exclamation, presentativi, presentatives, e avverbi di valutazione, evaluation adverbs.
Okay.
Starting from the number 1, we have avverbi di modo. This is the most famous adverb we can say because they indicate in which manner an action is happened. These adverbs answer to the question how.
Okay.
Between these adverbs, we can find words that finish in mente. For example, velocemente is quickly. It is an adverb.
Okay.
We can find also words that finish in oni, for example, bocconi, mouthfuls. And we can find also words that are adjective, for example, alto, that means tall, forte, that means strong, lento, that means slow, veloce, that means fast, etc. But depend always the case because you need to see the phrase for these things. But sometime, not every time, this adjective become adverbs.
Okay.
And you can find other kind of words like bene, that mean well, male, that mean bad, così, that mean like this, etc. Always remember that they need to answer to the question how.
Okay.
This is the adverb of manner. The second type is avverbi di tempo. Like the name say, they indicate when an action is happened. So we have, for example, words like ancora, still, adesso or ora, now, mai, never, sempre, always, prima, before, dopo, that mean after or later, subito, that mean immediately, presto, that mean soon or early, spesso, that mean often, allora, that mean then, oggi e ieri e domani, today, yesterday and tomorrow, etc. I write the most used, we can say. The third type is avverbi di luogo. They indicate where an action is happening. For example, we can find words like lì or là, that mean there, qui o qua, that mean here, giù, that mean down, su, that mean up, laggiù, that mean down there, lassù, that mean up there, quaggiù, that mean down here, quassù, that mean up here, davanti, in front, dietro, behind, sopra, above, sotto, below, dentro, in, fuori, out, altrove, elsewhere, intorno, around, etc. The fourth type is avverbi di quantità. They indicate in an indefinite way the quantity. For example, we have poco, that means few, molto, o tanto, o assai, o parecchio. All these words mean very. You see molto in the first
Molto in the first, yes.
example. Più, that mean more, meno, that mean less, abbastanza o sufficiente, mean enough,
Abbastanza o sufficiente.
troppo, too much, quasi, almost, etc. The type number 5 are avverbi interrogativi ed esclamativi. They introduce a direct question or exclamation sentence. So we can find between them words like come, that mean how, dove, that mean where, quando, that mean when, quanto, that mean how much, perché, that mean why or because. We use perché for affirmative sentence and for interrogative sentence. We don't use a word for say why in the question and the word for say because in the answer. We just use perché.
Perché?
The sixth type is avverbi presentativi. They are used for introduce something or someone. There is only one adverb of this kind, and it is ecco, that mean here.
Mm-hmm.
But it have more variable and often is used combined with personal pronouns. For example, eccomi. You have ecco, that is the verb, but it is combined with me, that is a personal pronoun. In fact, this mean here I am, but you can use all the pronouns. I did this example for explain, but you can use with t, she, etc. In fact, in
Okay.
the second example, there is another variable with t this time. If you see in the middle, there is always echo,
Yes.
and the word is rieccoti. Rieccoti mean here you are again. For say again, in this word we use re. Re mean again
Mm.
in this case,
Okay.
etc. Because you can combine with all the pronouns. Also this.
T is you are or just you?
It is you.
Then what is are?
Are there isn't in the word, but it is like if it's hide in the word.
Ah, okay.
Because echo, it is like if it work like a verb.
Yes, yes.
The last type of adverb is more complicated than the other ones. They indicate an opinion. They can be of three types: affermativi, affirmative, negativi, negative, and dubitativi, doubtful. The affirmative ones indicate an affirmative opinion. For example, say a sentence or do a question to you. You use this kind for say something positive, we can say. For example, you say sì, that means simply yes. Or esatto, that means exactly. Certo o sicuro, that means sure. Davvero, that means really, etc.
Sì, esatto, certo, sicuro, davvero.
Okay. The negative ones, they indicate a negative opinion. This is the opposite of the affirmative one. And we have no, that in English is always no. Non, that mean not. I wanna do a little clarification about this. You use not in English for contract some verbs.
Yes.
In Italian, the contract form in the verbs not exist. So non remain non. Also if you say a negative verb.
Okay.
We have ne, that mean neither, nemmeno, o neppure, o neanche. All of them mean not even,
Mm.
etc.
So, no,
Mhm.
non, né, nemmeno, neppure, neanche.
Mm. The last type, doubtful adverbs, indicate a doubtful opinion. So when you don't know the exact answer, you say, for example, se, that mean if, forse, o magari, o chissà, that mean maybe, probabilmente, that means probably, etc.
Se, forse, magari, chissà, probabilmente.
The last thing that we need to know it is that some adverbs have the same grades of the comparative and superlative adjective. I write just an example for let you refresh these grades with the adverbs.
Yes.
Positive, we
Mm,
have the word velocemente. That means quickly. The comparative of minority, we will have meno velocemente. The comparative of majority, we will have più velocemente. The comparative of equality, we will have tanto velocemente quanto. And about the superlative, we will have the absolute superlative that is velocissimamente, or relative superlative, il più velocemente. These are all the things about the adverbs. There is something not clear or something that you have a question to do?
about se, forse, magari. They can't change, right? Haven't another meaning. It is always like this.
Magari, if it is used alone, can change meaning, but the other, magari, for example, I say, today I give to you just one exercise. And you say, oh, magari. It is like if you say, oh, I hope it is like that. But it is always a doubt because you are not sure. It is maybe when you say near another word that you say, for example, magari un giorno andremo al mare insieme. That means maybe a day we will go to the sea together.
Yes.
It is maybe in that case.
Yes, I understand. It is clear.
Okay, just this.
Everything is clear.
Okay. For today, we finish. From me and Mogami, it is everything. We say thank you to everyone that passed by to everyone and see you in the next lesson. Ciao!
Ciao.